Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, the UK places restrictions on airshow maneuvers after the Shoreham Airshow accident. GI Bill flight training benefits may be cut. The NBAA works with the military and FAA to make airspace usable. I'm Bree Cross. It is August 25th, 2015, and this is Airborne Unlimited. The UK Civil Aviation Authority has placed an immediate restriction on certain high-energy maneuvers by vintage aircraft in the wake of an accident Saturday that resulted in multiple fatal injuries of people on the ground near the Shoreham Airshow. In a notice posted online, the CAA says it immediately began an urgent review and has placed a series of immediate restrictions and changes on UK civil air displays. As a precaution, authorities took steps to ensure no further flights were made by Hawker Hunter aircraft. This is the type of aircraft that was involved in the accident. Flying displays over land by vintage jet aircraft will be limited to flybys, which means high-energy aerobatics will not be permitted. The CAA will conduct additional risk assessments on all forthcoming civil air displays to establish if additional measures should be introduced. The CAA said further details will be provided in the coming days, and they will continue to work with the airshow industry to ensure the most appropriate action is taken as a result of their review. According to the Helicopter Association International, referred to as the HAI, the U.S. House of Representatives is poised to drastically overreact to a loophole in the post-9/11 GI Bill that Congress itself created. The changes likely to be enacted threaten the ability of veterans to join the aviation industry, especially the vertical lift sector. The HAI says that some flight training institutions took full advantage of the loophole, which is entirely within the law, and in a comparatively small number of cases, ran up eye-popping bills, giving the entire industry a black eye in the view of the general public and prompting the congressional overreaction. The HAI alleges that when the loophole is eliminated, the amount of training paid through the GI Bill won't even come close to being enough to prepare the student for a pilot job in helicopter aviation. They also say confusion has been caused by the Veterans Administration, either being inconsistent or non-compliant with the regulation. The HAI continues to work towards a solution that will provide GI Bill training to a level that will alleviate the concern for a lack of qualified pilots. After the break, issues with airspace and the upper Midwest resolved.
Now certified, Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B, ATX-100, and ATX-100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, our website, or podcast, just email to news-spy@aero-news.net. A significant revision to airspace over the upper Midwest will take place in September, but its effects on business aircraft operators should be minimal, thanks in part to the engagement efforts by the NBAA. Nearly 8 years in development, the massive Powder River Training Complex will ultimately encompass 28,000 square miles over portions of Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wyoming. The complex provides a training area for U.S. Air Force bombers operating from Ellsworth and Minnow Air Force bases, enabling those crews and other aircraft to simulate readiness operations over hostile areas. NBAA's Bob Lamont said in part, quote, "We've engaged on these issues from the time the complex was first proposed in 2007. The initial proposal was extremely onerous to all of aviation, but thanks to close work between military officials, industry stakeholders, and the FAA, the final plan is much more palatable to our community," end quote. The FAA said that the end result is a balanced design, ensuring aviation access while mitigating environmental impacts and meeting Air Force training mission requirements. Every Tuesday, we're going to look ahead at some of the more interesting events in the aviation universe. Here is this week's Aero-Calendar. Now here's a fly-in with a name that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. It's called the Land of Enchantment Fly-In, and it's being held at the Double Eagle II Airport in Albuquerque, New Mexico on August 29th. It appears to be a true family event with aircraft judging, a pilot wing safety program, kids activities, static displays, RC flying, and lots of other fun aviation action. On the flip side of the warm and fuzzy coin is the commemorative Air Force Airshow 2015. It's a two-day event running on August 29th and 30th and is featuring the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds along with other top-notch airshow performers. Of course, if you're interested in gnarly warbirds, this is the best place you can be. You'll find this gathering at Midland International Airport in Texas. August 28th and 29th marks the holdings of the Airshow of the Cascades. Being held at Madras Municipal Airport in Madras, Oregon, it will feature world-class aerobatics, antiques, warbirds, and a car show. It's a wonderful family event with a nighttime air show on Friday and a midday air show on Saturday. Veterans enter free, sponsored by Budweiser. With spring just around the corner, it's time for recreational aviators to get ready for fun. This three-day event starts on September 4th and is being held in Narromine, Australia. It's called Ausfly and is referred to as Australia's annual recreational and sport aviators history-making event. They say it's a weekend of airborne action. After these messages, a wilderness airport comes back to life.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, Navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. Thanks to the Recreational Aviation Foundation and many volunteers, a new remote area landing strip has been reopened. The North Fox Island Landing Field is approximately 27 miles northwest of Charlevoix, Michigan, and provides a spectacular recreational aviation destination. Construction of NASA's Next Generation Hurricane Observing Satellite mission is now underway. NASA's Cyclone Global Navigation Satellite System mission is a constellation of 8 microsatellites, which allows scientists to probe the inner core of hurricanes from space. According to a new study, the world market for commercial aircraft leasing is estimated to reach $35.7 billion in 2015. The global market will record positive growth over the next decade, in part due to continued demand from the air travel market. The Transportation Trades Department, AFL-CIO, which is composed of 32 unions, is concerned about a lack of modernization within the FAA. The TTD has posted an open letter to the U.S. Congress urging them to quickly reauthorize the FAA when Congress reconvenes. The Bridgeport Bluefish baseball team in Bridgeport, Connecticut, asked fans to bring their UAVs to the park to commemorate the alleged first flight of Gustav Whitehead in 1901. The Connecticut legislature claims Whitehead flew before the rights. However, the FAA said no way for the UAVs. Well, that's our trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. Another World War II hero has gone west. as we learned that retired Marine Corps Brigadier General Frederick R. Fritz Payne has passed away. He was believed to be the oldest surviving fighter ace from World War II and was credited with 5.5 kills during the Guadalcanal campaign. It's reported he was 104 years old. Payne shot down 4 Japanese bombers and 2 fighter planes, flying an F-4F Wildcat during September and October of 1942. Another pilot was also credited with half a kill for one of those airplanes, so his record for the campaign stood at 5.5 kills. According to reports, Payne was awarded the Navy Cross, a Silver Star, a Distinguished Flying Cross, and other medals during his career. The Battle of Guadalcanal is considered the turning point of the war in the Pacific. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday, with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource.